Good morning. The car has been loaded, the flask has been made and the ice has been scraped and I'm going fishing. It's been a very cold night. In fact, it started yesterday evening, about 7:30, getting off to play football. I had to spend 10 minutes scraping ice. So the harshest frost of the autumn so far, but as always, the angling show continues. I've cast out small river fishing today. Downstream, some overhanging branches and trees and an inlet coming in there. So quite a feature, but what about the fish? Will they be putting in an appearance this morning? We shall see. When it comes to fishing, I'm forever confident, but I'm also realistic as well. Therefore, if I can get one fish on the bank in this couple of hours or so session, I'll be a happy camper indeed. I know only an angler or an outdoors person would agree with me, but there is something really refreshing and inspiring about being out in these conditions at the start of the day. They've stopped now, but there were at least 2, possibly 3 song thrushes in the immediate area going full song at first light. And although it's cold, wrap up warm, and you don't actually feel it, I'm okay. I don't really feel cold myself. I'm not sitting here with chattering teeth and a shaking body, nowhere near that. And that's why this day and age the clothes are important. I mean, the hat, I usually wear one. I haven't got anything on my head today other than that natural cover that God gave me, and I'm just thankful that at 63 years old I've still got it as well. But that's neither here nor there. I remember the old days when I was a kid in the 1960s fishing. My dad's donkey jacket, Bagridge Brickworks donkey jacket, and 2, 3 jumpers, a t-shirt, a couple of pairs of trousers, Wellingtons, 3 pairs of socks. That'd still be cold. But what we have available to us today is quite good. But what about the fish? That's the question, isn't it? I've been here a while now, not too long, but been here a while. Second cup of tea, and nothing at all yet on that rod tip. That nearly disappeared into the water, just about saved it. As far as the setup's concerned, 1/8 of an ounce lead, 3.5 grams, a small bead. That's a Gardner rubber bead, which I've cut down because there is no swivel involved. You can't see it there. It's inside the bead, but it's a size 8 shot. Hook length is about 4-5 inches, size 16, Drennan super specialist hook, and a couple of maggots. Big problem I've got when it comes to casting out, just a gentle flick. I'm not going very far, but the big problem is the rod rings are constantly freezing, so I'm having to go over them with my finger and thumb to defrost them, and then you can just about manage, just about. As I said though, a gentle flick downstream. Actually, I need to cast again because I have to do some more defrosting on that occasion. That's better. I've just had a message from Ian Clark. He knows me. Funnily enough, talking about Ian, I had a dream last night, and a goosander working his way downstream, realised I was there and has now taken off. Well, I hope that's caught more fish than me. Well, no, I don't actually. Goosanders and cormorants, etc. Not always good news as far as angling's concerned. Otters and everything else into the mix. Oh, we're up against it, aren't we? Anyway, where was I? I had a dream, and if you do check out my angling videos fairly regularly, you'll know that I had the tripod fixed a few weeks back now at Ian's place, and Kev, who works for Ian was working on it as well, and I've been ribbing Ian ever since about the fact that Kev did a great job, or great job Kev did, and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, in this dream, my tripod fell over. Actually, it reminded me just now, but the tripod fell over and it broke, and 2 of the legs came off. And I was recording all this, and then someone made a comment on YouTube about the incident of the tripod falling over, and they said those must have been the legs that Ian did, not Kev. Kev didn't do the 2 legs, that's what Ian did. So bizarre dream. We do have funny things that go through our minds at night that have no real logic or value or even on our mind at the time, but that came back to me, funnily enough. The dream about the tripod, where the 2 legs broke off and they were the legs that Ian did. Kev's leg was okay. Oh, fish. Well, still, as I've just said to Ian, actually, he asked me if I've caught anything. I said no bites and no fish and no brain, as far as I'm concerned, is what a lot of people would say. Not me. I'm watching this tripod. I'm not sure the 2 legs are going to come off, but balanced precariously there. A little bit too close to the edge. I think I need to maybe stabilise it. That's better. I am coming to the end of the session, as well as the dregs of the flask. Been here for a couple of hours, nothing at all. I'm always hopeful though, even in those last few minutes of angling when I've had nothing at all yet, not even a bite. I'm always hopeful, as long as your bait's in the water and all that. But I do want to give a mention to a poster in the guest book. I always do that. If anyone posts in the guest book, Robin there. I'm not sure it's used to anglers because it keeps coming. It's landed on the rod tip, it keeps coming by me. Every time I throw it a maggot, it flies away. So it's certainly not used to anglers throwing it food, which they often come hunting for it, don't they? Asking for it, begging for it. Especially at this time of the year, you can save a bird's life by putting food out there. When I do go though, I shall leave some stuff on the ground. But where was I? The post in my guest book. I always give a mention to anyone who drops a comment there, and there was a comment the other day. The person didn't give their name, you just did it as anonymous, not intentionally, because it wasn't one of those where people are trying to hide their identity, but it was in reference to some comments I'd made on a video about driving in these conditions. Well, that was the same this morning as well, and even worse obviously in terms of the temperature and the general ice on the road, etc. And most of the cars were very sensible. I was on an A road to make my way here once I got off our lane and the B road, and there was a good distance between all the cars as far as you could see ahead of you. They were all driving carefully as well, no more than 40 miles an hour. And then this car came from behind, and it was so close, as I've said on many occasions, as if the headlights were on the back seat. And I'm thinking, why are you driving like that? Because even if you push me further, which I'm not going to do that at all, even if you push me further, I'm only up to the car in front. You're not going to gain any ground at all. And I was thinking back to the comment that the person made in the guest book, which I need to add to it, by the way, because when I said about, because he's a lorry, or presume he, HGV driver, and I did say about roundabouts when you need to give HGV drivers, bus drivers, you need to give coach drivers, you need to give them space, because they can't stick to the lane, and then these cars cut them up, and then the driver's on the horn. And I was referring, of course, I will add to that, I will add to that post, I was referring, of course, to the car driver on the horn, not the HGV driver. And you find this some very poor driving, certainly in these conditions today. But most folks are okay, most people are sensible, but you always get one or two hopefully on the way back home it'll be okay. Well, even if it isn't, I'll be okay, as far as it depends on me, because I will be driving very carefully indeed. Let's get this cup of tea down my neck, pack away, make my way home, and unless I do get a late fish, this will be the last clip. So if you are out and about, brave enough to be out and about in these conditions, tight lines and enjoy.